that came out this morning. FBI Director James Comey announcing the end of his agency's months-long, high-stakes investigation into Clinton's handling of classified information at the State Department. In his public remarks at FBI headquarters, Comey offered a harsh, thoroughgoing critique of Clinton's email practices as Secretary of State, but ultimately recommended that no criminal charges be filed against the presumptive Democratic nominee.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret. Although we did not find clear evidence that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information, there is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. We are expressing to justice our view that no charges are appropriate in this case.
I am proud of the campaign we ran here in New Hampshire and across the country as to why I am endorsing Hillary Clinton.
The Hungry for Power Games. Today, Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton. Let us bid farewell to the fallen.
I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. And you can tell them to go themselves.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
When Mexico sends its people, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her, wherever.
You gotta see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember.
Our children and grandchildren will look back at this time, at the choices we are about to make, the goals we will strive for, the principles we will live by, and we need to make sure that they can be proud of us.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Local time. This happened about an hour and a half ago on Bastille Day, while a large crowd of thousands of people were taking in a fireworks display. Around 10:30 local time, a big white truck, basically a tractor trailer, drove into a crowd that had gathered on what's known as the Promenade des Anglais. It's a large promenade that extends about 7 kilometers along the Mediterranean Sea, not unlike the bike path that we have down the west side of Manhattan. And that's where people had gathered when this truck came barreling into the crowd. The mayor and other eyewitnesses have reported multiple fatalities. As I just said, a local official telling local television there are about 30 dead. There's a shelter in place underway right now, but it is not clear. I should point out, it is not clear exactly what caused this carnage at this point. This is all still very fast moving. Lots of information coming forward, including reports from eyewitnesses to French television that they might have heard gunfire, but we're still waiting for word officially on exactly what has led to this, but certainly a state of emergency right now in Nice, the city of Nice. It's the 5th largest city in the south of France, a very, very popular tourist destination on basically what the French would consider the equivalent of the 4th of July. So you could imagine how many people were there watching these fireworks when this truck came seemingly out of nowhere and mowed so many people down.
What we had expected to come up just 6 minutes from now today was Donald Trump announcing who his pick would be as his vice president. Well, he just tweeted it. I'm pleased to announce that I have chosen Governor Mike Pence as my vice presidential running mate. News conference tomorrow at 11 a.m.
A hail of bullets descending from a helicopter. Gunshots fired in the streets of Turkey, the crowd ducking for cover. In another part of the country, in a neighborhood where many government offices are located, witnesses say a helicopter dropped a bomb. State-run media read a statement saying the military took over, imposed martial law, and instituted a curfew. As countries across the world condemned the development, Turkey's defiant president took to FaceTime to encourage government supporters to rally in the streets. Many listened. At one point, a crowd came face to face with a tank surrounded by soldiers holding automatic weapons. The tank firing shots in the air, the crowd not deterred. Hours after the uprising started, Turkey's National Intelligence Unit claimed the coup had failed as members of the military were ushered off the streets. Later, a helicopter carrying soldiers landed at CNN Turk. The editor-in-chief says members of the media taken outside at gunpoint, forcing the network to broadcast an empty studio instead of the news of the coup.
We experienced rather tense moments. There was at least one shot that I heard.
But the editor says a group of government supporters and police confronted the soldiers, allowing the network to get back on air. I'm Mary Maloney.
And I accept your invitation to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America.
Woo! Y'all fired up? I can't tell you how much of an honor it is to stand up here and talk about a man that I trust with the lives of my family.
Making America great again starts by taking care of our veterans.
Thank you for the privilege to do that. Really, I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
My son, Sean, was one of 4 brave Americans killed during the 2012 terrorist attack at Benghazi.
Thank you, America, for showing us the support and the dedication that should have been offered by Hillary.
But my belief in this country and my faith in Jesus Christ have compelled me to speak now.
My son, Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, was killed 2 years ago by an illegal alien.
Sadly, I have a similar story to share with you.
For the invitation to speak about my beloved son, Jamil Jazz Shaw II. Special thank you to my friend, the undisputed GOP nominee, and the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Let us remember tonight the Dallas and Louisiana police officers who tragically lost their lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make something very clear. Blue lives matter in America.
I met Rachel 19 years ago on America's first reality TV show. 6 weeks ago, we had our 8th little baby.
My name's Darrell Glenn, and I'm an unapologetic Christian constitutional conservative, pro-life, Second Amendment, loving veteran.
I have a message to deliver, and let me say it loud and clear. Help is on the way.
I'm here because I raised a son who believed in this country enough to give his life for it.
Today is a long way from the rafter seats my wife and I had as college students in Miami in 1972, I gotta tell you.
Thank you, New York. For a New Yorker for once on the ticket, Donald Trump.
An amazing mother, an incredible woman, Melania Trump. Thank you very much.
My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise, that you treat people with respect.
I don't know how you follow and act like Melania Trump, who's going to be the next First Lady of the United States of America. Another big round of applause for her.
That can-do attitude has served as the foundation of our country for 240 years.
It's time for us, once again, to choose freedom over tyranny.
My daughter was growing up. I told her 2 things.
Don't join the Navy and don't marry a Navy SEAL. She ignored me. She did both. I'm so incredibly proud. I love you, Jennifer.
Delegates and alternates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third session of the 2016 Republican National Convention.
It is an honor as a Sikh American and the Vice Chair of the California Republican Party to share a prayer from my faith tradition, Sikhism.
And non-delegates shall be permitted to make nominating and seconding speeches.
It is my distinct honor and great pleasure to nominate Donald J. Trump for the office of President of the United States of America.
Of seconding the nomination of Donald J. Trump as the next President of the United States.
What it is precisely clear. We are going to make America great again.
Delegates and alternates, let us commence the call of the roll of the states.
The great state of Alabama is proud to cast its votes. 1 vote for Marco Rubio, 13 votes for Ted Cruz, 36 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Alaska, we proudly vote exactly the way the people of Alaska voted. 12 votes for Cruz, 11 votes for Trump, 5 votes for Marco Rubio. And we support the nominee of this party, Donald J. Trump.
The territory of American Samoa in the southernmost reaches of U.S. soil. All 9 delegates to the immediate future President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
My name is Robert Graham, Chairman of the Arizona Republican Party. Arizona delivers 58 bound votes to the nominee, Donald J. Trump, the next President of the United States of America.
Arkansas, land of opportunity, 25 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
State of California, and I am proud to place 172 votes to the nominee of the next President of these United States, Donald J. Trump.
Great state of Colorado, where the plains meet the Rocky Mountains. 31 votes for Ted Cruz, 2 votes abstain, and 4 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The great state of Connecticut is casting all 28 delegates for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The great state of Delaware casts all of its 16 votes for Donald J. Trump.
The District of Columbia. Our delegation is duly bound to cast 10 votes for Senator Rubio and 9 votes for Governor Kasich.
Great state of Florida. We are honored to cast all of our 99 winner-take-all delegates to the next President of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
This Georgia delegation cast 16 votes for Marco Rubio, 18 votes for Ted Cruz, and 42 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The island of Guam pledges its 9 delegates to the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
In the great state of Hawaii, Donald Trump, 11 delegates. Cruz, 7, and Marco Rubio, 1.
And I'm from the state of Idaho. 20 votes for Ted Cruz and 12 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The state of Illinois cast 6 delegates for John Kasich, 9 delegates for Ted Cruz, and 54 delegates for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The great state of Indiana cast its 57 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The state of Iowa proudly casts its 30 votes for the next president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Kansas cast 9 votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Commonwealth of Kentucky to cast our vote: 7 for Governor Kasich, 7 for Senator Rubio, 15 for Senator Cruz, and 17 for the next president of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
The great state of Louisiana cast 15 for Ted Cruz and cast 31 votes for the next president of the United States, who will restore our national sovereignty by building a wall, Donald Trump.
The great state of Maine cast 12 votes for Senator Ted Cruz, 9 votes for Donald J. Trump, and 2 votes for Governor John Kasich.
Great state of Maryland proudly casts all 38 of our votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Cruz, 4. Kasich, 8. Rubio, 8. And guess what? They may have said we are the bluest state in the union, but we are casting 22 delegate votes for Mr. J. Trump.
Michigan passes.
Michigan passes.
On behalf of the great state of Minnesota, cast the following: Rubio, 17, Cruz, 13, and 8 for the next president of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Great state of Mississippi will cast 15 votes for Ted Cruz and 25 votes for the next president of the United States and New York's favorite son, Donald J. Trump.
Missouri cast 11 votes for Ted Cruz, and Missouri cast 41 votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The people of Montana cast our 27 delegates to Donald J. Trump.
Nebraska cast their 36 bound delegates for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
From the great state of Nevada, 1 vote, Governor Kasich. 6, Senator Ted Cruz. 7, Marco Rubio. And 16, for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump!
To read the votes on behalf of the people of New Hampshire: 2 votes for Marco Rubio, 3 votes for Jeb Bush, 3 votes for Ted Cruz, 4 votes for John Kasich, and 11 votes for my friend and the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump!
New Jersey, that its 51 delegates will be given to Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
And the great state of New Mexico
To cast New Mexico's 24 votes to the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump!
New York, the Empire State and the home of Donald J. Trump, passes.
North Carolina proudly cast our 72 votes as follows: 1, Dr. Ben Carson. 6, Senator Marco Rubio. 9, for Ohio Governor John Kasich.
We proudly cast 27 votes for Senator Ted Cruz.
We proudly cast 29 votes for the next president of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
The state of North Dakota casts 1 vote Carson, 6 votes Cruz, and 21 votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
The beautiful islands of the Northern Mariana Islands, where we cast our 9 delegates
to Donald J. Trump.
Ohio, the mother of presidents, proudly casts its 66 votes for Governor John Kasich.
State of Oklahoma, 19 votes for Senator Ted Cruz and 24 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Oregon, 5 votes for Senator Ted Cruz, 23 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Pennsylvania defers to the great state of New York and my friend, Chairman Ed Cox.
And it is my honor to be able to throw Donald Trump over the top in the delegate count tonight with 89 delegates and another 6 for John Kasich. Congratulations, Dad, we love you!
The territory of Puerto Rico proudly casts its 23 votes for Senator Marco Rubio.
That Rhode Island delivered, sorry Jersey, the largest margin of victory in a 3-way race with the most amount of votes cast in the history of a Republican primary with over 64% for Donald J. Trump.
South Carolina casts all 50 delegates for Donald J. Trump.
The great state of South Dakota nominates and casts our 29 votes for Donald J. Trump.
Tennessee,
16 votes for Senator Ted Cruz, 19 votes for Senator Marco Rubio, and 33 votes to make America great again for Donald J. Trump.
Texas.
For Marco Rubio, 3 votes. For our dear friend, a great conservative, our favorite son who we love, Ted Cruz, 104 votes. And for our new friend, our latest adopted favorite son, for the man who on the night of November 8th is going to get a phone call from a lady named Hillary when she concedes the race to the next president of the United States, Donald Trump, 48 votes.
And on behalf of the United States Virgin Islands, we proudly cast 8 votes for the next president, the gentleman from New York, Donald J. Trump.
Utah, we cast all 40 of our delegates to the gentleman who won our state, Senator Ted Cruz.
From the great state of Vermont, 1 vote for John Kasich, 2 votes for Rand Paul, and 13 votes for Donald J. Trump.
Virginia, 3 votes for Dr. Ben Carson, 5 votes for Governor John Kasich, 8 votes for Senator Ted Cruz, 16 votes for Senator Marco Rubio, 17 votes for our next President of United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
From the great state of Washington, 44 votes for Donald J. Trump.
Walk proud, West Virginia, because we are a state that is going to put 34 delegates behind Mr. Donald Trump. Clean slate. Let's go get him.
The great state of Wisconsin cast 36 votes for Ted Cruz and 6 votes for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
From the great state of Wyoming, 1 vote for Senator Marco Rubio, 2 votes for Governor John Kasich, and for an individual who we came to know and love as one of our own, 23 votes from the great senator from the state of Texas, Ted Cruz. And now, for someone we've come to know and have come to support, and will throw our support behind against Hillary Clinton, the next president of the United States. 3 votes for Mr. Donald Trump.
Michigan's 2 votes for John Kasich, 6 votes for Ted Cruz, and 51 votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Go Trump! Go Trump! Pennsylvania cast 1 vote for Ted Cruz and 70 for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
This is a rule that affects only about 4 states. First of all the states are bound by 16A2, and the secretary is required to read the bound vote. And so that's why in a few states there was a difference.
That Donald J. Trump, having received a majority of these votes entitled to be cast at the convention, has been selected as the Republican Party nominee for President of the United States.
It is now time for us to determine our nominee for the office of Vice President of the United States.
I proudly nominate a great man of integrity, a proven conservative, an incredible husband and father, and one of my best friends. I nominate the great governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, as the Republican Party's 2016 candidate for Vice President of the United States of America. Thank you.
It is a great honor to move that Michael R. Pence from the state of Indiana be nominated by acclamation by this Republican National Convention as its candidate for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
That Governor Michael Pence has the overwhelming support of this convention to be the next Vice President of the United States.
I formally declare Donald J. Trump and Michael R. Pence the Republican nominees for President and Vice President of these United States.
Thank you, O Lord, for the gifts that you provide us, not just because we deserve them, but solely by your grace and mercy.
And especially to be here in Cleveland, where we have nominated the individual that is going to make America great again, Donald J. Trump.
I've been in the fight business my whole life. I know fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is a fighter, and I know he will fight for this country.
I hail from the great state of Arkansas. We know from personal experience that we don't need Hillary Clinton in the White House.
Sometimes Hillary Clinton speaks with a New York accent. Sometimes an Arkansas accent. But y'all, this is what a real Arkansas woman sounds like.
To make her the first president in history to take the constitutional oath of office after already having violated it.
It's been a lot of fun the last few days watching the media speculate about me. Who's Andy West, they all asked. Someone said I was Batman. I said, that's Adam West, dummy.
What difference at this point does it make? I am the guy that got under her skin and provoked that infamous response from Hillary Clinton by asking a pretty simple question.
She hasn't taken a walk, a nap, or a bathroom break without a good guy with a gun there to protect her. So it's easy for her to dismiss a right that she will never have to use.
Because when I earned my tour card 16 years ago, I was told there's only 2 things you don't talk about in public: faith and politics. Well, tonight, I'm prepared to violate both those admonitions.
Good evening. Are you having fun?
A couple of years ago, Bill and Hillary camped out in my state, telling anyone who'd listen why they ought to vote against me. Tonight, I'm here to return the favor.
This is who we are. Governors and doctors, educators and ministers, CEOs and hog farmers.
Standing up here again, it all has kind of a familiar feel. Students of trivia will recall that last time around I was your nominee for vice president.
Where the bad guys are winning and the good guys are losing. But I have good news. In 112 days, it is over.
Hillary Clinton, as a failure for ruining Libya and creating a nest for terrorist activity by ISIS. Answer me now, is she guilty or not guilty? In Nigeria, Hillary Clinton amazingly fought for 2 years to keep an Al-Qaeda affiliate off of the terrorist watch list. Now, what happened because of this reckless action by the candidate who is the self-proclaimed champion of women all around the world? These Al-Qaeda terrorists abducted hundreds of innocent young women 2 years ago. These schoolgirls are still missing today. And what was the solution from the Obama-Clinton team? A hashtag campaign. So now let's figure it out. Let's decide. Hillary Clinton, as an apologist for an Al-Qaeda affiliate in Nigeria, resulting in the capture of innocent young women, is she guilty or not guilty?
Thank you all so much. It's so amazing to be with you tonight and say a few words about my father and your nominee for president. Please excuse me if I'm a little nervous. When I graduated college a couple of months ago, I never expected to be here tonight addressing the nation. I've given a few speeches in front of classrooms of students, but never in an arena with more than 10 million people watching. But, like my father, I never back down from challenges. So here I am, a little new to the convention scene, but incredibly honored and very confident in the good man that America is coming to know.
Donald Trump has told me that a person's own work ethic and drive are the only limitations to success.
When people told him it was impossible for a boy from Queens to go to Manhattan and take on developers in the big city, rather than give up, he changed the skyline of New York.
Not to be outdone, Hillary Clinton has already promised to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business.
All right. Don't eat up my time. Thank you. I want to thank you all for that very warm welcome. I have to start out by saying one very important thing. I'm not politically correct.
And because we women have many roles in our lives, I'm offended when the media and the Democrats typecast us as single-issue voters.
Oh my God, so much energy. I can smell the success in the air. I feel the change. I see the spirit. And let's pray. Let's take some time. Let's pray.
All right, the chairman recognizes a delegate from Illinois for the purpose of offering a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I am Demetra DeMonte from the great state of Illinois, the state of Lincoln, and the great state where Ronald Reagan came from. The great state of Illinois moves that the convention to now adjourn.
Thank you. The question now occurs on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the convention stands adjourned until 7:30 tomorrow p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. How many more Orlandos, San Bernardinos, or Fort Hoods will happen until President Obama decides to be honest?
God bless the United States of America.
If Donald tells you something, put it in the bank. He's been my partner and friend, and believe me, his handshake is better than any contract you will ever write.
Donald Trump will stop it. Lock her up. I love that.
I'm honored to have played a role in our nation's heritage of explorers as the first woman to command a space shuttle mission, joining the ranks of those that have fought to lead the way.
My husband, he stays at home with our children, and he homeschools them because I will not subject them to Common Core.
And despite his many accomplishments, he still feels a void that he believes can only be filled by service to his country and service to his fellow Americans.
President Trump will fuel America's future and become the first president to achieve American energy independence.
The well-connected in Washington are standing behind Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton is one of them. They want more of the same.
I personally pledge to you that Donald Trump knows that your life matters. He knows that my life matters. He knows that LGBTQ lives matter. He knows that veterans' lives matter. And he knows that blue lives matter.
If you love our country and love your children as much as I know that you do, stand and speak and vote your conscience. Vote for candidates up and down the ticket who you trust to defend our freedom and to be faithful to the Constitution. Appreciate the enthusiasm of the New York delegation. We will unite the party, we will unite the country by standing together for shared values, by standing for liberty. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the United States of America. It is such an honor to be here for a man I love so much. That's my father.
As one of 17 candidates, Donald Trump received more primary votes than any Republican in American history.
Ted Cruz said, "You can vote your conscience for anyone who will uphold the Constitution." In this election, there is only one candidate who will uphold the Constitution.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Mike Pence.
I accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America. This team is ready. Our party is ready. And when we elect Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, together, we will make America great again.
Of the President and Vice President of the United States, Donald Trump and Mike Pence.
In 1984, my father stood at this convention and offered the opening prayer before our party's candidate, Ronald Reagan, went on to accept the nomination and win in a landslide.
We are the only country in the world whose immigration systems
puts the needs of other nations ahead of ours. We are more concerned with the rights of illegal aliens and criminals than we are with protecting our own country.
It is so important that we come together to defeat Hillary Clinton and those race-baiting Democrats.
I know over here somewhere we have some Minnesota Viking fans, do we not, huh? Skol Vikings. We have some New York Giant fans somewhere, don't we? Huh? How about those Giants?
She said that I would likely never walk again, and that even a 1% chance was overly optimistic. But that 1% was all I needed. Through it all, I had faith in Jesus Christ.
Enough of seeing our 401ks get smaller, our bills get bigger, our taxes go up, and our paychecks shrink. In short, the American people have had it.
Oh, Oklahoma loves New York too. Thank you.
Hillary Clinton is a direct threat to the American dream.
To some people and some presidents, America is just another country. To Republicans, America is the greatest nation on earth.
Of course, every American has a unique identity. I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American.
Wow, this is a wow. But I have to tell you, I feel like the anchovy on Ivanka's Caesar salad. I know you're salivating for that and you're going to get it.
And I could not be more proud tonight to present to you and to all of America my father and our next president, Donald J. Trump.
Friends, delegates, and fellow Americans, I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States. They are throwing money at her because they have total control over every single thing she does. She is their puppet, and they pull the strings. I have seen firsthand how the system is rigged against our citizens, just like it was rigged against Bernie Sanders. He never had a chance. Never had a chance. But his supporters will join our movement because we will fix his biggest single issue, trade deals that strip our country of its jobs and strip us of our wealth as a country. I am proud to have at my side the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Mike Pence of Indiana. As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. Believe me. We are going to build a great border wall to stop illegal immigration, to stop the gangs and the violence, and to stop the drugs from pouring into our communities. It was Bill Clinton who signed NAFTA, one of the worst economic deals ever made by our country or, frankly, any other country. We will repeal and replace disastrous Obamacare. We will take care of our great veterans. Melania and Ivanka, did they do a job? We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you.
I'm gonna come sit in your lap.
Oh,
how's
Jesus
it going?
Christ. Hey, Alex Jones, how you
Good to
doing?
see you, man. You're looking sexy.
All right.
Hey, how's the revolution going? You guys starting the revolution?
We are indeed, Alex. The revolution is afoot. Welcome to the Young Turks.
You know what's wrong with America is not?
I am going to restore American democracy along with progressives and conservatives in this country.
All right. Well, I gotta tell you, I am really, really proud to be here with you. It's good to meet you in person.
I don't think.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
You like all our Hillary for Prison shirts everywhere?
No, I kind of despise it.
What shirts are they?
I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen? Oh my God! You didn't see me? I don't exist. You didn't see me?
It's Alex Jones! Oh my God!
Hey! For you right here.
It's Alex
rape.
Jones!
It's Bill Clinton that says rape.
Alex
Oh God! That's the big no-no. The Roger Stone's paying for.
You want to take my show over? I'll take your show.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, you know what? Who does this kind of shirt? First of all, sick guy. Second of all,
Bill Clinton's not a rapist, folks.
No, you know who's accused in
Get
court
it, Stone, come on.
You know who's accused in court papers of being a rapist?
Donald
J.
J.
Trump. By Donald Trump, Roger Stone.
He's still nice.
It's in court papers.
Oh, yeah.
You're a sick dude, Roger Stone.
I want to run off with you right now.
You assault me all the time. You never give me a chance to respond.
I should give you a
job. A job.
We'll share Mike.
You're a sick man, Roger Stone. You're a liar.
Roger,
No, you're the world's biggest liar.
Get him in there.
Didn't you admit that you lied? Didn't you already admit that you're a piece of crap?
No,
Elliot Spitzer, he's a great guy. Alex, this ain't my fucking show.
Take
it.
You're afraid to debate him?
It's your fucking show.
Are you afraid to debate him?
No, you're afraid. Get him up here. No,
You're afraid of rape allegations.
Bring it back up.
Hey, bring it back up right now.
Bullshit.
Get up here right now. All right.
Roger, yeah, run away.
Roger, don't go. He wants to debate you right now.
I'm not going to debate this guy. You're a hatchet man. I don't know why anyone in the media takes you seriously. All you do is lie. You're known as the biggest liar in media. You're the biggest liar in media.
Tim a lie, loser. There's nobody watching this show, dude.
Guys, can you get out of my sight, please?
Don't get too mad. We gotta
go.
All right, well, first of all,
he's actually mad. He's actually really upset.
Sorry, can you get out?
Hey, don't touch my camera.
all right.
You want fucking attention? Get off the stage, you fat fuck! Get off! Get off! Yeah, you do!
Don't touch my camera.
Get the fuck off the stage!
Saudi Arabians aren't funny enough. Your little jihad.
Hey, first of all, let me explain something, all right? Okay, this is bullshit.
Hold on. We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass! We talk about that all the time!
Oh, really?
We talk about that all the time!
You don't know what you're talking
shit! What, you think the lizard people are in charge?
No.
Is that what you think?
Hey, you're pissed. We're kicking your ass.
Is that what you think?
You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed.
Bullshit!
We're being nice here.
You know what I care about? I care about the American people!
Good. You're the one flipping out. Anybody hurt? I'm being nice. I'm not right.
Everybody get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage!
Unbelievable. You're the one that dragged it. Hey, Alex, security's here. I got it. All right, go. That is the craziest shit I've ever seen. They just
Shut the fuck up, you loser.
Hey, unless there's staff. Clear their space, guys. It's their space. Unless you're their staff.
Now made her choice, her VP pick, public. She said she would do it with her supporters in a tweet, and that is exactly what she has done. She has chosen Senator Tim Kaine, 58 years old. He is a U.S. Senator from the state of
emails
Virginia.
released by WikiLeaks suggest that top officials at the Democratic National Committee plan to undermine Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. The Sanders campaign had long accused the DNC of tipping the scales in favor of Hillary Clinton. In this email from May 2016, DNC press secretary Mark Postenbach wrote, "Wondering if there's a good Bernie narrative for a story which is Bernie never ever had his act together, that his campaign was a mess. It's not a DNC conspiracy, it's because they never had their act together. Donald Trump jumped on this, tweeting, leaked emails of DNC show plans to destroy Bernie Sanders, mock his heritage, and much more, online from WikiLeaks.